are moments in life when everything seems lost, when betrayal comes from those closest to us, when darkness surrounds us from every side. But it is in those very moments that Allah is writing a story far greater than we can see. This is the story of patience. This is the story of trust. This is the story of a young boy who was chosen for greatness. This is the story of Prophet Yusuf, alayhi salam. In the land of Canaan, a young boy approached his father with a dream unlike any other. He said, "I saw 11 stars and the sun and the moon. I saw them prostrating to me." His father, a noble prophet, immediately understood the weight of this vision. This was no ordinary dream. It was a sign from Allah, a glimpse into a future filled with honor, but also trials. He gently advised his son not to share this dream with his brothers, because sometimes even those closest to you can become your greatest test. Yusuf alayhi salam was beloved by his father. He was kind, pure, and blessed with beauty and wisdom. But his brothers could not see his innocence. They saw only favoritism. Jealousy grew in their hearts like a silent fire, until one day that fire turned into a decision, a dangerous one. They planned to remove Yusuf from their lives forever. Under the excuse of a journey, they took Yusuf far away from home, into the depths of the desert, into a place where no one could hear his cries, and there they threw him into a deep well, a child abandoned in darkness, alone, betrayed by his own blood. But even in that darkness, Allah was with him, because when people plan, Allah plans too, and Allah is the best of planners. Hours passed, or perhaps days, until a caravan traveling through the desert stopped near the well. They lowered a bucket, hoping to find water. Instead, they found a child. Yusuf alayhi salam was taken out and sold as a slave, from the well to the marketplace, from betrayal to another test. But this was not the end. This was only the beginning. Yusuf alayhi salam was taken to Egypt and bought by a powerful official. He was raised in a household of status and wealth. Years passed. The boy grew into a man, known for his honesty, wisdom, and unmatched beauty. But once again, a test awaited him. A test not of hardship, but of temptation. The wife of his master was captivated by Yusuf. His beauty was not just physical, it was a reflection of his pure heart. She tried to lure him. She closed the doors. She created a moment where no one could see. But there is one who always sees. Yusuf alayhi salam refused, not out of fear of people, but out of fear of Allah. He chose prison over sin. He chose Allah over desire. And in that moment, he became stronger than any king. Yusuf alayhi salam was imprisoned unjustly, a man who did no wrong, locked behind bars. But even in prison, he did not lose hope. Instead, he became a source of guidance. 2 prisoners came to him with dreams. Yusuf alayhi salam interpreted them with wisdom, and before giving the answer, he reminded them of Allah, because even in hardship, his mission never stopped. One of the prisoners was later released, and Yusuf asked him to mention him to the king. But time passed, and he was forgotten. Years later, the king of Egypt saw a disturbing dream. 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 lean ones, 7 green ears of corn, and 7 dry ones. No one could explain it, until the former prisoner remembered Yusuf alayhi salam. He rushed back to the prison and asked Yusuf for the interpretation. Yusuf alayhi salam explained, a time of abundance would come, followed by years of severe famine, and he didn't just interpret the dream, he offered a solution. Store grain during the good years to survive the difficult ones. The king was amazed. He ordered Yusuf alayhi salam to be brought to him, but Yusuf refused to leave prison until his innocence was proven. Truth had to be established, and when it was, his honor was restored. Yusuf alayhi salam was not just freed, he was given authority over the treasures of Egypt. The boy from the well had now risen to power, not through revenge, but through patience. Years later, famine struck the surrounding lands. Even the brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam came to Egypt seeking food. They stood before him, not recognizing him, but he recognized them. The same brothers who once threw him into darkness now stood in need, and Yusuf had the power to take revenge, but he chose something greater, mercy. He revealed his identity, and instead of anger, he forgave them. No blame upon you today. These were the words of a heart purified by faith. Finally, Yusuf alayhi salam was reunited with his parents. They came before him, and the dream he saw as a child came true. The sun, the moon, and the 11 stars, all in a position of honor, not as worship, but as respect. The promise of Allah had been fulfilled. The story of Yusuf alayhi salam is not just a story, it is a journey from darkness to light, from betrayal to honor, from the well to the throne. It teaches us that no matter how deep the darkness, there is always a plan, a divine plan, and if you hold on to patience, if you hold on to faith, Allah will take you where you are always meant to be, because sometimes the pain you feel today is prepared you for the greatness of tomorrow.